damn different, I guess. We all signifying. But this thing is very, very powerful if you know how to use it. This thing right here can make you a lot of money, can bring you a lot of information, and you can expose people. And when you out and about with these Karens and Darrens or just the craziness of the modern world we live in, hit record. Hit record and send it to me, and I'll amplify it. So that's exactly what this sister did. And let me get the backstory for you. This is coming from Philadelphia. Her name is Sadia Schuler, and she's the owner of the Country Cooking Restaurant and Catering. And she also is somewhat of, I guess, of a foodie. She got like 400,000 followers on Instagram. Is that a lot? I think that's a lot. By marketing standards, she is an influencer. I mean, you know, if you know anything about the numbers and how, you know, people look at what an influencer is, there's actually a calculation to it. At 422,000 followers, she's an influencer. So she's at a restaurant, and then she just witnesses something that she just had to share. And it led to her being asked to actually leave. Okay. So she's at the restaurant, and I've called out dog people before. Any dog people in the audience? Dog people may not like me this morning. Dog people may not like me. I know we got some dog people out there. I'm not anti-canine. I'm not anti-animal. I'm just pro-human. And we're going too far with this dog stuff. You're going too far. You know, it's a service animal, and you look at the people, and there's no handicap that you can see whatsoever. It's just like, it's like an emotional service animal. And I'm like, sis, I kid you not. I was at a bar in Walnut Hills. This is probably last summer. It was the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm at a bar in Walnut Hills. I might have been with the wifey, actually. I'm at a bar in Walnut Hills. It was packed. I go in there, and there was a couple in there. I could tell they were a couple because they were like together. You know, I perceived them to be together, and they had a damn dog in the bar, and it didn't seem. Again, you can only look at on the outside. I mean, you never know what's really going on, but it didn't seem to be handicapped. They weren't blind. They just want to take their dog to the bar. And I'm like, what? That's a thing now. That's a thing now. People take their dogs to the bar. And I'm like, whatever happened to leaving your dog at home? That ain't a thing no more. I think this happened early this summer, actually. And I didn't really remember it until I started to mentally prepare for this particular topic. But we were downtown on the riverfront. We were getting a walk in. I think we were getting a bicycle riding. We were on our bikes, and we go whizzing past a public water fountain. And what do we see? We see a white couple, and they're lifting the dog up and letting the dog drink out of the damn water fountain. We whizzed past so fast, I was past them before I could even. It took a second for it to really compute, and I was thinking, you nasty mofo, you. That's for humans. Like, if you really love your animal, then what you do is you carry like a little container or something. They're portable, and you just put some water in it, and your canine can get some water. That's if you really care about your animal. But there's a lot of people that don't really care about their animals, and they really shouldn't have animals. And that kind of leads up to the story. So this woman is at she's at a restaurant in Philadelphia. And she witnesses a man with his dog, and he asks the restaurant for a glass because his dog was thirsty. And what do you think they did? Well, from her side of things, they brought a glass out, and the dog drank out the glass, the same glass they give to patrons. And so when she says something about it, they asked her to leave. But that's how the world is. You talk sense to a fool, and the fool will call you foolish. I deal with it on a regular basis. I've been dealing with it for years. You talk sense to a fool, and they'll call you foolish. It's just how it is. And she videotaped like the whole exchange because she couldn't really believe, wait a minute, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? This is crazy. But here's the video. Check this out.
the dog even know it ain't right. He just asked me, keep asking for a water. He asked for a bowl of water. Now, I want to see what the hell he gonna do.
Now, I want to say something because I know how this world works. People are going to call me anti-canine. I'm not anti-canine. I'm just pro-human. I'm just pro-human. That's just the nastiest thing you can ever do. I don't care what the scientists say about a dog's saliva. When I go to a restaurant, and you know me, I've told you before, I've been honest with you, I got a little OCD thing going on. So when I go to a restaurant, I typically either bring water or I ask for bottled water. That's typically me, because the glasses just don't feel right. And if I'm really on my game, then I'm carrying my own utensils as well. I just, that's not really for me, because people are nasty. Everybody's different, and we can argue back and forth whether that makes sense to you. I don't really care. It makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And so she witnesses this whole thing going down, people petting the dog and all this kind of stuff. And again, I don't really pet dogs anymore. I stopped petting dogs a long time ago because for various reasons. I'm over it. You know, roller coasters, petting strange dogs. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of over all that. Did all that. But it just speaks to, I don't even know what it speaks to. We're just blurring the lines of reality these days. It's like, ain't nothing sacred no more. And then they're going to take that same glass and put it right back into with the other glasses. And I guess whatever mixture, you know, when you go to a restaurant, they don't even really wash the dishes, do they? They scrape them and then put them in some solution and take them out maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I don't run a restaurant. I don't know, but nasty. So she brings it up to him. And they asked her to leave as if she did something wrong. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I understand the sister 100%. Now, I know we live in a different world and people look, their dogs are just like your kids, but your dogs are not like your kids. They're dogs. That's not like your child. It's not your child. It's a canine. Now, you might have adopted it because you feel a certain way, and that's a great thing. I mean, we need people that are good to animals, but that's just straight nasty. It's just straight nasty, period. Anthony writes, Nate, leave Drop alone. Who brought up Drop? I'm not messing with Drop. Tracy writes, why was the dog at the restaurant? Because that's what people do these days, Tracy. They take their dogs everywhere, right? And, you know, because they need emotional support. I need emotional support. Like, what is the hell? Like, I can understand if you're blind or you're handicapped or something like that. But just because you want an emotional support dog, I just ain't with it. I just don't understand it. I don't get that. But that's just me. Everybody's different. So now what happens is if you kind of challenge somebody, they'll say, it's a service dog. It's just like if I'm blind, but they can see. It's not like you're blind. It's not like you're blind at all. You know, there's some things we should not pay into. We should not play into at all. Anthony writes, you brought up calling out fools. I wasn't talking about Drop per se. Brent writes, but Nate, a dog's mouth is cleaner than humans. Who said that? I don't accept that premise. I don't accept that premise. I really don't. I'm sorry. FG's in the house. She writes, good morning, great people. Again, I know we got dog people out there. God bless you. That's a beautiful thing. But there's limits to it. There's limits to it. Stop treating your canine like this is a human child. A sleepy human child. What's up, son? What? Oh my gosh. This is a child, right? Canines are not children. Not the same. When I go to a restaurant, I don't want to see an animal. When I go to a bar, I don't want to see your animals. Leave them at home. Leave them at home. Cincinnati Roller writes, Nate, the glass will be washed, rinsed, sanitized, and then put back into circulation. Like if you're going to be a dog-friendly restaurant, I like that. That's a beautiful thing. Then you should have like, then you should have this thing. Oh, then you should have like little portable things. Water. If you like sympathize, you're like a dog sympathizer to the point where you look at dogs the same as humans. They are not. Something's wrong with you. It's just like a human child. It's nothing like a human child. It's my baby. It's not your baby. It's a dog. If you're going to be that kind of person, that's a beautiful thing. Great. We need people that will show love to animals far more than cruelty. I'm not about the cruelty. But then have you some portable little, containers that a dog can whatever out of. That is the nastiest thing ever. Then the black woman, I watched the video when she was talking to him. She really wasn't even irate. She just brought it up. And she was dealing with a waitress. I wonder if her, when black people raise their voice, people get really intolerant. People can have less patience with black folks. So I don't know if it's a race thing or not. It happened to be a sister. But what? Dante writes, they tried that service animal crap on the Metro bus. Right. It's a service animal. What's wrong with you? I'm emotionally not well. You need to go home then. Stay home. What's wrong with you? I get the jitters when my friend's not around. Okay. Good morning, Jane. Hey, good to see you. Good morning to you. I'm just sharing some things that are on my radar screen this morning. These are some things that are on my radar screen I want to share with you. I don't know, man. Looking at this story, I want to bring my own cups now. I'm going to take my own cups, my own straws, my own disposable cutlery, forks, spoons, knives. Take my own plates. Like, hey, could you put it on this plate, please? I don't even want to use your plates. I don't know what you're doing, man. You can't trust anything these days. There's nothing sacred. There's nothing sacred. 513-873-7134. Nothing is sacred. Oh, man, let me share with this. I can't forget this. I want to share this with you. Here it is. Yeah, the Nathan Ivey Show was recognized as one of the 30 best morning talk shows. I appreciate it. My son says, woohoo, the background. I love the way you say that, man. I keep telling you that. That was woohoo. He says it perfectly. Yeah, it was a very unexpected and pleasant surprise this morning. I'm just going through some old emails. I was actually looking for an email that somebody sent me that I didn't respond to. So I'm going through my emails like, what is this? And I check it out, and it's some website. They do these kind of things to try to, get attention. And like, when they're going to market, you got to have some kind of strategy, but whatever the case may be. So I clicked on it, and I was like, cool, look at your boy, man. Recognized as one of the 30 best morning talk shows. Now, of course, they're right. No doubt about that, 100%. You know what I'm saying? They're absolutely right about that. But I want to make sure we put that out there to the world. This ain't no regular degular. You know what I'm saying? I can hear him repeating me in the next room over there. It's hilarious. It's almost like I'm in stereo. Man, go upstairs and get ready. What are you doing? He said, I'm not doing anything. It's funny. Yeah, it was a website called it's called Feed. Here it is. It's called FeedSpot. FeedSpot. And I think what they're doing is they're putting together sort of like the curating podcast and things like that. So again, I appreciate it. Game recognize game, real recognize real. Game recognize game, real recognizes real. So I want to make sure because we're doing this together. And again, the Nathan Ivey Show recognized as one of the 30 best morning talk shows, and I guess that's on the internet. It was based on web rank by traffic, social media followers, domain authority, and freshness. We certainly are fresh, no doubt about that. Most definitely so. I'm gonna look at some of these other podcasts on this list and give them a look, give them some clips. So I appreciate that. In most cases, man, people never really, because I'm an artist. That's what I am. I'm a creative performer. I'm a rhetorical artist. I'm not a talk show host. I'm not a podcaster. That might be what other people do. I'm a creative performer, have always been a creative performer. And this is just, the way that I communicate with the world. And when I went to digital, I did so because this is what I do. This is what I do. And if you look at the Cincinnati landscape, for years, it felt like everything was the same. You know what I'm saying? The game needed something different. And that's what I brought to the game and plan to continue to do that. So I appreciate that. I don't do it for no recognition. That's the last thing in my mind. Like I said, I looked over it. Apparently, they sent this out early in July. I'm busy on some other things and had just missed it and just came across it this morning. But I wanted to make sure you put it out there because if I don't toot my own horn and let people know, ain't nobody else going to do it for me except for the people in this house. Ain't nobody else going to do it. So I got to do it. So I appreciate the folks over at feedspot.com. I'll post a link if you're interested. Matter of fact, I think there's a link on my Facebook page. Yeah, there's a link on my Facebook page. I posted this morning, and there's already some well wishers. I appreciate it. Man. Good morning to you. Dante writes, people show more love to their animals than they do their children. If they had to choose between their dog and their child, some would choose the dog. Really? That's extreme. That seems a bit extreme to me. But if you say so. I just think that people just go too far with this dog thing. And you got a lot of people that really shouldn't have animals that have animals. If you live in an apartment, you shouldn't really be having no animal because you can't really give the animal what it really needs. But who am I to tell a little person what to do with their time and their space? You do you, boo. Ray writes, she writes good risings all. I don't do dogs and definitely don't eat at people's houses who have pets. I'm good. She writes, congratulations. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Regina writes, that is disgusting. And I had a dog that I loved that passed away, but dogs should not be in restaurants, period. In my opinion, absolutely not at all. They shouldn't be in bars. They shouldn't be in, I go into an establishment and a lot of these bars serve food. They might serve little, wings and some tots or something like that, some kind of potato or something like that, or a salad. And you got your damn animal in here? Why? I just don't get it, but that's just the world that we live in, man. We got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? But could you imagine? You go to a restaurant, you observe some nastiness, you call out the nastiness, and they ask you to leave. That's how you can tell when people know they're wrong. One way you can tell when human beings is wrong is how they react to it when you call them on being wrong. A lot of humans, or should I say some humans, people that's real, a person that's real, and I'm talking about real with themselves and not just the world, because a lot of people can claim to be real with the world, but they're not real with themselves. And then a lot of people are real with themselves, but they're not really real with the world. When I say real, I'm talking about a person that's both, that's real with themselves and real with the world around them. When you call out a person that's real in that way, they admit it. Oh, you right? When you call out a person that's not real, then they'll blame you. They'll blame you. You're the problem. They'll get mad at you. It's your fault. It's your fault. How dare you? Why would you bring this up? Oh, my God. The world we live in is so crazy. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Black Tech Week is in Cincinnati the whole week. That's right. I believe they're sold out. So unless you're going to maybe some of the social events, I don't think you're going to get in. But they do have a job fair coming up. They do have a job fair coming up. And again, don't go by my word. Go to their website. It's blacktechweek.com and check it out for yourself. Today, they got all kind of stuff going on. They got all kinds of stuff going on today. All day long. They're going to be at Memorial Hall. That's like the center for a lot of stuff going on today. On today's list, they're going to be talking about mergers and acquisitions, new money, community building, supply chain and logistics, getting acquired by a tech giant. Because if you got a tech startup, most of these people start these because they want to have an early exit. They want to work hard for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, then sell it to somebody bigger than them and cash out for millions and go chill or move on to another project. Getting the first check, health is wealth. They got a comedy show at Memorial Hall coming today at 7 p.m. I've been seeing a lot of people posting different stuff who've been there. I'm just sharing this with you because while you may not get a chance to go this year, they can be back next year. So if you're not in a place, you may be not in the tech space or whatever now, maybe, he caught you last second, you can't get a ticket. You can prepare for next year because they'll be back same weekend. It's a great weekend for some kind of event like this or any kind of event that's related to black folks because you already got black folks in town. So it's just really good for the city. Look at what black folks is doing for the city this weekend. This whole weekend this weekend. Gosh darn it, we need our recognition. What else is going on? They got all kind of stuff. They got all kind of stuff, man, going on. Okay, so check it out. Hold on, I just lost my place. Here it is. Yeah, they got all kind of stuff going on, man. And, some of this stuff is just so interesting. It really is because, just think about this, family. You get a chance to learn from, to get in front of, to interface with, to socialize with people all over the country that's doing some shit. Not just talking, but actually doing something. I hear all this, I hear all this and all this nonsense. Mofos ain't doing nothing. But these are black folks in the city of Cincinnati that's actually doing something. In some cases, you never know. Some of this stuff might take off. You might be interfacing with the next billionaire, multimillionaire, 10, 100 millionaire. You never know. In the city of Cincinnati. So, all of the belly aching and complaining, all that needs to stop. It's just too many opportunities out here. At the very least, you get an opportunity to interface. The rest is up to your charisma and, your ability to network. And you can't blame, if you don't have charisma and the ability to network, you can't blame nobody else. So I just want to keep bigging up Black Tech Week because I think this is going to be huge for the city of Cincinnati moving forward. It's part of the reason why I keep saying that Cincinnati is on the come up. Okay. All these sour grape people out here talking about what happened 1,000 years ago don't really matter. Okay. Moving forward, there's a lot of opportunities for people that's motivated to take those opportunities. Now, I might be talking to older people out here and you like, Nate, I'm setting my ways. I'm past my prime. Man, please. You never too old to start something. You're never too old to create something. Never. Never. There's too many stories of people out here that started something in their 50s, in their 60s, their 40s. That could be you. That could be you. Yeah, so if you can't make it this week, make a mental note and make sure that next year you go down these facilities, you know what I'm saying, and these opportunities. I say facilities. You go down to these discussions, and at the very least, you might learn something. You might come away. You might learn an investment opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You might learn about a brand new industry. I'm telling you some amazing things that are happening all around us. All around us. So, Black Tech Week continues through Friday, and I'll tell you more about what's happening. So that's what's happening today. Today they got all kinds of stuff starting at 11 a.m. down in Memorial Hall. If you already got your ticket, make sure you go down and check them out. Make sure you go down and check them out and go to as many of the events as possible. Go meet people. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, really. It's about going to these sessions, learning, and then networking and meeting different people and introducing yourself and learning about what they're doing and talking about what you're doing. You might come away with a new business idea. Never know. You might come away with a new opportunity or something. You never know. Never know. So Terrace writes, never too old to reinvent yourself. Exactly, Terrace. You know what I'm saying? My personal motto is MA greatness, middle-aged greatness. That's my personal motto. You're never too old to be great. Greatness has no number. It has no age. Now, I know people probably run with it and steal it because I know how it is, but that's my personal motto, MA greatness, middle-aged greatness. You're never too old or too young to be great. You got to do it. And I know I'm speaking to the choir here. We got a lot of highly motivated, highly intelligent individuals here, but I want to put this on your radar screen. There might be some younger folks. They should be a Black Tech Week. They should be a Black Tech Week. You know what I'm saying? You about to graduate high school? Go down to Black Tech Week. Well, these are founders. You know, I keep trying to press this on my daughter, and she ain't really getting it. She gets it, but she ain't really getting it, which is, I don't think so. Maybe she is. Which is, you know, I keep hearing, because she's thinking about going to college. Life is not about finding yourself. You don't go to college to find yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Whatever it is you want to do, go do it. Now you're doing it. Period. You don't have to go to college to do anything. That's not what college is for. College is about self-improvement skills, learning how to be on time, learning how to be on task, and more importantly, what is it? College is about networking. That's where you build your network. That's what it's all about. College don't make you smart. That's not what it does. Now, you have some specialized degrees, right, where there's only certain knowledge you can get. But I'm talking about your traditional liberal 4-year college. That's about the people you meet, the experiences that you put yourself in, learning how to be an adult. That's what college is all about. But if you want to go do something, go do it. If you want to be a photographer, go get yourself a camera and start taking pictures. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. You want to be a videographer? Go get yourself a camera and start shooting video. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's how you do it. Nobody's going to teach you. You're going to learn the master code. That's that. So maybe this week, you know, because it's the first year, but moving forward, man, if you got a high school senior or college, let them go down here to Black Tech Week and sit in front of Black tech founders. These are CEOs. These are people that's creating new products and services in industries. That's what they need to learn. Shit, I don't know, man. They had a Black Tech Week when I was coming up. Who knows? I didn't see that. Our young people need to see that. They need to see that. Matter of fact, more I think about this, I might have to do something about this because that's a great opportunity. Young people in the city of Cincinnati are not all of them are captivated by what CPS has to offer because that's that same old, same old. And we'll talk about CPS and whether Black kids are safe in CPS per a new report in just a couple of minutes. But Black Tech Week is an awesome opportunity for everybody, for all of us, no matter what your age is, but especially for the young folks. That's what they need to see. They need to see it with their own eyes and shake hands with them. Get a card. You know what I'm saying? What's more motivating than looking at somebody that look like, than seeing somebody look just like you create something awesome? Nothing. There's nothing more awesome or more motivating than that. Nothing at all. That's one of the best things you can do is put young folks in front of people that's actually did something, that's actually created something, right? There's nothing more empowering than that to me. You want to motivate these young folks? Quit talking to them about what they should do. Put them in front of somebody that's actually did it, that's actually created something. Man, I don't know the names of all the individuals, but from where I'm sitting and what I see, man, you got dozens of Black founders of tech companies in Cincinnati, and they're going to be here for the foreseeable future. That's an amazing opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just going to the parties and, you know, doing a line dance or whatever the hell they be doing. It's about learning. It's about seeing great examples. So, you know, I would urge you, if not this week, then next year, put it on your calendar and take your people down there. Take your children, take your grandbabies down there. Make them go. Make them go. Go down there with them. Go to the panel, sit in the crowd, pick out some panels that you think might be interesting about some stuff that you maybe don't know about. You're like, what is this? What is that? And go down there and learn something. That's going to be far more motivating than you telling them, stay off the drugs and don't do this and don't. I mean, that has a place, but I don't know. I'm the big believer in, like, when I see something, I'm like, oh, snap. You can do that? Wow, that's amazing. Well, I can do that, right? That's how I operate. I can't be alone in that. So you got a lot of great opportunities. Like I said, they got a job fair coming up. Take them down there for the job fair. Take them down there. You got black tech founders. You want to work for somebody black? Go down there and get your resume in for one of these black tech companies. I don't know what it's going to turn into. It might turn into the next big thing. I don't know. Man, there's a sister, man. She got her name is Dawn Dixon. She's going to be speaking down there. I've been watching her. I've seen her in a bunch of interviews. Sister from Columbus. And she started a company called PopCom. PopCom. Sister from Columbus started a tech company. Where my people at? Where we at? That's the big story. That's what really matters. That's that. You talking about seeing something that's really tangible? Go check her out. You got some other co-founders of tech companies out there. Go check. Sisters from Columbus. She started something called PopCom. First time I saw her, she was on the Breakfast Club. And she's doing amazing things. She's going to be doing, I'm not sure when she speaks. She might have already, I think she speaks today. Today's Wednesday. I think she speaks today, actually. And her company's based out of Columbus. And basically it is, she reimagined vending machines. She reimagined vending machines. So she had a company called Flat Out Heels. And so what she noticed is that when she would go to conferences, women be all dressed up with heels and stuff. And she wondered why she couldn't buy a pair of flats in a vending machine. So she had a product called Flat Out Heels. And essentially it's like some flats, but you can roll them up and like put them in a vending machine. You can like roll them up, put in your purse, and then unroll them and put them on. Like for women who are looking for relief from foot pain, because you're walking around here with some high heels on, which I don't know why women do that. I don't know why you do that. But do you, boo? She saw a problem. She wanted to address it. But then the next issue that she had is she couldn't find vending machines that she thought matched her merch. So you know what she did, family? She created it. You go look at it right now. It's called PopCom. These vending machines look super dope. Super dope. They all over the place. She gonna make probably hundreds of millions of dollars. In Columbus, in Cincinnati right now. This is what matters. This is the kind of examples we got to put in front of our peoples, our young folks. All this belly aching about this, that, and the other. I mean, later for that, man. I got enough problems. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out. That's what's hot. I don't care about how hot it is outside. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is moving the culture forward. And I think the Black Tech Week is helping to move the culture forward, but only if people reach out to it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to come to your house and bring you. Come on, now you got to put some effort into it. It's a great reason to go downtown. Go check them out. And you think I'm lying? You took her name is Dawn Dixon. I'm going to reach out to her so I can get her on the show. You know what I'm saying? And Brent writes, how many ladies? Well, I don't know. Lots of them. Lots of them. I mean, from what I'm seeing, her business is starting to take off. But these are the kind of things that I'm on the internet doing. I'm looking at these great examples of people that are creating things and building things. That's motivating to me. I don't want to sit around belly aching and complaining about this, that, and the other. I mean, when it's time for critiques, I'm at the head of the line. I'm the pole position on it. But I feel like sometimes we get too much of that. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up with the wrong things. Look at this guy. You want to show everybody your bow tie? Now, why you got a bow tie on today? Man, talk louder. It's a fancy lunch.
It's a fancy lunch.
Okay. You let me see. Let me look at you. Look at my boy. Come over here, man. I'll never forget years ago to my son, Daddy, will you buy me a bow tie suit? There you go, man. Looking good. Is that hair brushed? No, it's not. You need. Oh, sorry, sorry. You need some gel, and you need. Sorry, I got you good, pretty good, didn't I? That thumb. I'm sorry, man. You got it. You got it. You know they didn't do it on purpose. You're okay. You'll be okay. All right, brush that hair. I didn't get you that bad. You okay? I'm sorry. You'll be okay. Brush that hair and then comb that. Okay? You're looking good, though. Got him with the thumb. I'm telling you, his hands are stronger than him. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to get the boy. Is this Junior a Muslim now? No. I don't know where he got this thing for bow ties. He might have got it from some show he was watching. I don't know. I mean, I got a bow tie that I wore for a tuxedo. I was thinking maybe he saw that. I don't know, but but again, Black Tech Week. An amazing opportunity for Cincinnati if Cincinnati takes advantage of it. An amazing opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big believer in that. Start your own company. You ain't got to go to college to be successful. You don't have to do that. And college is about building a network. That's what it's all about. I keep telling Medium Buddha that. She's like, I'm going to go to college and learn how to do this. I'm like, what you want to do? Then go do it. She's like, go do it. I'm like, yeah, go do it. You ain't got to be 18, 19 and start a business. You could be 15. Go do it. Whatever years you want to do, research it, get the tools, and then start doing it. Because trial and error experience is the best teacher. It's the best teacher, man. It's something you got to just jump into the lake sometime and just make it happen, sink or swim. See. TG writes, having vending machines disperse pink and green flats make millions at AKA conventions, rinse and repeat for other sororities and groups. Man, she's selling all kind of stuff. They selling art. They selling weed. They selling all kind medicinal marijuana. They selling all kind of stuff in these PopCom. Hold on, let me see if I can bring up an image. It's super dope. It's hella impressive. Let me see if I can bring up an image of what sis is doing. I'm telling you, it's dope. I seen it for the first time on the Breakfast Club. I was like, who is this sis? Okay, then she said Columbus, Ohio. I'm like, what? I like this. You know what I mean? But I'm just like that, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking for sources of inspiration. You know, on my entrepreneurial journey, I'm looking at other entrepreneurs like, oh, snap, that's such a great thing. I loves it. And I got to shout out local people. You already know that's what I do. Here it is right here. Here is an example. That's her. That's her machine right there. That's dope as hell. It's a smart machine, but when you walk past it, like it's picking up data and all kinds of stuff, like how many people are walking past it. And so she leases these to retailers. So I don't know. You might see it in Kenwood. I don't know. I'm not really in malls like that. But don't be surprised if you walk past this and you see this machine, just know it's a black woman from Ohio that created that. Be proud of that. Be inspired by that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit around talking about all the shootings and all this, everything that's wrong. I want to talk about some inspiring stuff. I want to talk about what's right. I want to give props. And I don't think I've ever seen one of those machines. But if you ever see those machines, and they're all over the country, they're in airports, they're everywhere. And they're just going to be in more and more places. If you see this machine, just know it's a sister from Columbus that created that. Just know. All right? Just know that. Take some pride in that. That's just me. Tabitha writes, Ohio stand up. Oh, absolutely. Most deaf. So I'm saying there's so many great examples here, but we just don't focus on it because we focus on all the problems and the shenanigans and all this kind of stuff. But there's a lot of dope stuff that's happening. And I want to say it again. Black Tech Week is super dope. I love what they're doing. I'm super excited that they're here in the city of Cincinnati. And TG writes, I'm on her webpage now. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. She official. She ain't bullshitting. Excuse my language. Lord, forgive me if I brash. She ain't. I mean, this ain't no regular degular. You know what I'm saying? This is like some real tech-ish. And if you go back and look at her on the Breakfast Club, she talks about her journey and how she had to pivot and stuff like that. It was very, very, very inspiring. She inspiring the heck out of me, as you can tell. And that's just one story. That's just one story. You know what I'm saying? That's just one story. Right? There's so many other great stories out here that, okay. There's so many other great stories out here that we just don't focus on. Hold on one second. We got a guest coming in. I want to make sure she gets the information that she needs to get into the show. Hold on one second. Some more great news. Another inspiring example. Super inspiring. And, you know, this woman coming up, just doing big things in our community and just will not stop. You know, she had to deal with some hurdles, and, you know, you always got to deal with that. It's rare when everything works out for you. Like in my life, everything hasn't worked out for me. You know, I keep saying I got to get everything out the mud. So if you're somebody that was born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you probably ain't going to understand me. You're not going to feel me. You ain't going to feel me. You might like it, but you ain't going to feel it because we don't come from the same space. We cut from two different cloths. I'm from the get it out the mud type, still getting it out the mud, right? So when I see people that's like making things happen and, you know, dealing with adversity, you know, I think it's beautiful. Hold on one second. And they conquer the adversity. I think it's cool. Hold on one second here. Yeah, we're supposed to get we'll see, we can Zoom or phone call, either way. I'm open either way, from Rosemary, with Rosemary's Babies. And I think she got some big news. She got some big news to share with us. And, you know, we've been following her journey. Oh, thank you so much. We've been following her journey. Appreciate that. We've been following her journey. And I saw there's some big things happen, some big news happen. So I just sent the information to her. Hopefully we'll get her on here real quick and have a conversation with her about where she is. Again, like and share this, because you can't get this nowhere else. You can't get this nowhere else. Everybody got something different to bring. What I bring, nobody else can bring. What somebody else brings, I can't bring. So you can't get this anywhere else. Look at this. She's trying to burn me. I think she's trying to get rid of me. What's in here? Why she just say that is not how I would do it? How would you do it? Oh, my God. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. If something happens to me unexpected. You're right. She said, don't be saying that, then something happened. Everybody looking at me. All right. So as I await the phone call from Rosemary or the Zoom call, either way, I'm down for it either way. Let's continue with the conversation at 513-873-7134. And I'm going to post the Black Tech Week schedule for those that might be going today, or if you just want to know for whatever reason, man. I'm just saying, keep this on your radar screen. This ain't no regular degular. That's become one of my favorite phrases. I got that from Puffy. You ever see Can't Stop, Won't Stop? It's in there. This ain't no regular degular. This ain't no regular degular. Let's go check it out. Hopefully you can feel where I'm coming from this morning. All right. Hopefully. Some other things that are on my radar screen that we must discuss this morning. We must get into it. I want to share with you. But before we do that, we got to get a word in from today's sponsor. Today's show is brought to you in part by our good friends over at Renew Community Church. They do a Sunday morning live stream. I've been sharing this with you for some time. They do a Sunday morning live stream that is available to you. All you have to do is go online. You can go on Facebook or you can go on YouTube. You can tap in. They're not trying to convert you. They're just trying to empower you. They want to empower you. They want you to live your best life. The conversation is led by Charlie Winburn. You can tap in at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's this Sunday morning. You can tap in on Facebook at facebook.com/Cincy Renew. You can also tap in on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. Every American must stop the violence in their own heart to find peace. Learn this Sunday how to find peace, rest, and happiness. We need more of that, more peace and happiness in our communities, our communities. This ain't no just black folks thing. Let's get that straight. In all of our communities. And if you're interested, tap in on Sunday. See, the great thing about, the world we live in with streaming, which I love, is you can tap in and tap out. So, tap in, see if it's for you, and tap out if it's not. And if it is, then stay tapped in, if that's the right way of putting it. But again, Sunday morning masterclass led by Charlie Winburn this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brought to you by our friends at Renew Community Church. Check them out. So some things that are on my radar screen is Monique. Yes, we spent a lot of time talking about Monique. I like Monique. I'll say it again. I think she's hella talented and she got heart. I love somebody with some backbone. I love it. And none like a black woman with some backbone. And none like a black woman who ain't afraid to be who she is. I love it. I love it. I don't always agree with everything she said. But in general, I think Monique is hella talented, and I think she gets hated on because, as a woman, it feels like, sometimes the world wants you to be seen and not heard. And as a black woman especially. And parts of me just loves the way she put D.L. Hughley in his place. And part of that is personal. I told you my personal issue with D.L. I loved it. She shut him up real quick. He was Mr. Wisecracking and comeback until she went low. Then he was like, I don't want to talk no more. It was great. He had all these jokes for Kanye and his ex-wife. And that was below the belt. But when Monique started talking about you and your fatherhood and your daughter, all of a sudden, you ain't got no time for that. You don't want to get burned, stay out the kitchen. But why am I talking about Monique? I'm talking about Monique, and this is interesting news, is that Monique announced that she is about to film her first Netflix comedy special. Now, that's interesting, considering that about 4 years ago, she was in a conversation or negotiation with Netflix to do a comedy special. And she felt like they lowballed her and then blackballed her because she went public about it. And it was like this whole big old thing. And people was like, Monique always got a problem with everybody. See, that's how they try to discard people that speak up for themselves. When you somebody to speak up for yourself and you ain't gonna let nobody just do whatever they want to you, they say, you crazy. Or they got all these other words for you. No, she just spoke up for herself. Simple as that. And now it seems like she got validation. But hold on to that, family. Hold on to that, because I got to go straight to my guest. She's backstage. I want to bring her straight on. Hey, good morning, Rosemary.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for your time this morning.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for your patience. I was working late last night, and I was like, oh, crap.
It's all good. It's all good. But, we have been following your journey. You've been gracious enough to share it with us on the show here to keep us abreast of what was going on, and also in ways that the audience could help. But I've been seeing that you got some great news. So I want to make sure you came on this show. I know a lot of people know about it, but I want you to talk about it with us here. So please share the great news with everybody.
Yeah, so for those that don't know me, my name is Rosemary. I'm the CEO and founder of Rosemary's Babies Company. We are a teen parent and family organization in Greater Cincinnati, and we provide support for teen parents from ages 9 to 19. Over the last 2 years almost, people have heard about our journey to open up a facility and resource center in North Avondale um, in North Avondale to provide support for teen parents who are homeless. And this was a challenge for us as we were trying to get through the port and the city and just a lot of different regulations, especially with the community. And today I come to you and say the battle is over. We actually acquired the property and closed on the property on June 27th. So I'm super excited about that. If I can't hear,
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry. I do this once a show where I mute myself and forget to unmute myself. But I think that's awesome for our community, number one. So thank you for that. But then it's just a great example, Rosemary. It's just a great example for people out there that want to do something and they feel like they might be dealing with like all of these hurdles. And you talked about it. You just knocked it down one after another. So tell us what this means. So you got the funding that you were seeking. Is that what this means? Have you secured long-term funding? So what's the situation right now?
Yeah, so what we did was, again, we got $1 million capital stack that included funding from the state, which we were one of two Black organizations that got funding from the state. The other is Toylan O'Neill. She got funding from the state, which we were excited about that. So we got some funding from the state, line of credit, we got pledges, but we are still in the middle of our capital campaign. Because you don't want to use loans. You don't want to have to access those resources because they can be costly for any nonprofit. But so we're still raising capital for programming, renovations. We need people to put in bids, and we're now working very closely with our partners, Triversity Construction, KLH, Moody Nolan, to figure out the next steps. I mean, we were so busy fighting, you know what I mean? Trying to get the property that we didn't, it's like, well, once we got it, we were like, oh crap, now what? And so we're excited to move forward. The project is estimated to take about 18 months. As people know, there's a lot of wait right now. They call it long lead times in construction because, of staffing and just not being able to get parts, due to still COVID outcomes and things like that. And so we're just reviewing all of those things now. And, we just want to open our doors, and we hope that now the city gets behind us and we can show everybody, like, the ports process was very difficult, very, very difficult. The process to get funding from the city is very difficult. These are things that, of course, people are like, oh, she made it through. But the thing is, I think that there needs to be standard processes. There needs to be transparency with companies like Rosemary's Babies Company, so that when somebody comes forward and says, hey, go get some money from the city, you understand what that process looks like. So you don't have to fumble all the way through it. And you don't have to feel like you're constantly failing forward. But it's that failing forward that helps you hone on your faith and get things done, and, and lean on your team and things like that. But it's that constantly failing forward. And I want people to know that are going through the process. You are not alone. It's happening to a lot of us. We just don't really speak up about it, but just keep going, persevere, because resources are needed. Housing is needed. So many different things are needed in the city. And Rosemary's Babies Company's new Holloway House and Resource Center is definitely needed in the North Avondale area.
And again, the big news is that property is yours. You've secured that.
Yes, we have secured the property. We have some people in the community that are still a little bit outraged about it, but we're dealing with that kind of separately. And we put out a good neighbor pledge to those in North Avondale saying, hey, we're willing to be these good neighbors, but at the same time, give us time to show you that we're going to be good neighbors. Again, the same thing that we've done this entire time. We're trying to rise above it. We can't control how they treated us, but we can control how we treat them and how we want to continue to be seen in the community as this best-in-class resource that can show teen parents, no matter what obstacles you go through, there's opportunities to blossom, grow, and reach your goals, period. period. So I'm incredibly grateful to all of those that wrote letters of support, those that have contributed, those that have emailed me and shared your stories, your prayers. So incredibly grateful for my community to stand behind this project and me for almost 2 years. So thank you all.
Yeah, I'm no expert. I'm not going to act like I know something I don't know, but what I do know, what I think I understand about your project is going to be great for our community. And it's going to be great for a lot of young folks, a lot of folks that maybe didn't have, the resources that you're bringing. And I think that Avondale is a great spot for it. So I wish you nothing but the best. And I'm glad you said this is not over with and that you're still on that journey so that we can, be a part of it. And I just wish you all the best. Again, stay connected. Let us know anytime you're trying to get the word out, with my little audience. I'll definitely try my best. And it's always an open door policy. I wish you nothing but the best, Rosemary. And again, thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. And if you want to find out any information, you can look at rosemariesbabies.co. We definitely want to come back on to talk about our gala that we have coming up because we want you there, Nate. This gala is called Significant Fathers or Significant as we celebrate our 6th year. And we have the Manhattans coming, and it is a true tribute to fathers. Again, we serve fathers and mothers in this new facility that will have a resource center, 7 bedrooms, a place for teens, children to get educational resources. And so a lot of different things and changes happening at Rosemary's Babies Company. But what do roses do? They blossom, and that's what we're doing in Avondale. So excited about that. So,
Rosemary, again, have a great day, and we'll stay connected.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, most def. And it'd be my honor to go to the gala. I'm all about it. Give my tickets. I want to contribute like everybody else. I want people to be successful. So I just think it's a great example of perseverance because she's talked about some of the hurdles and, all this stuff, you want to be a good neighbor, but they got to be a good neighbor to you too. You want to be a good neighbor, obviously. I'm glad that she said that, but the neighbor's got to be a good neighbor to you too. You know what I'm saying? I think she's bringing something substantial to that community, and it's going to help a lot of people. So I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Nathan. It's Alicia Reece. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning. I just want to say you certainly have honored 2 powerful women this morning. Candace Matthews with Black Tech Week, which we're very excited. I talked to Candace when she was saying that she was almost ready to announce it and she had acquired Black Tech Week. But to see it go from, her talking about it and it actually happening. And it's a huge thing for our city and our county and our region. So I wanted to just give her a big shout out to Black Tech Week. I know that when we had our small business event at the Urban League, someone came up to us and was talking about an app that they had in the healthcare area, and we were able to connect them with Candace's business and organization, and we got information back that company thanked us and was helped and is participating in Black Tech Week. So just a positive thing, and it's certainly very important in the future. So anybody out there that has these great innovative ideas, you want to definitely be a part of Black Tech Week. And then you just got off with Rosemary of Rosemary's Babies, and I know that she's coming on to talk about the victory, but her tenacity to have a vision, stick to it, fight for it, put the financial packaging together, having to put the supporters together, lots of meetings, and keeping a positive attitude. So just want to congratulate her. Last year she brought the Temptation Review and asked me to MC, and this year she's bringing the Manhattan. So just wanted to, you have 2 powerful women, Black women, who are doing it, and I just want to tell them congratulations. I just wanted to just remind people about the Black Music Walk of Fame, Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Very excited about this Saturday, July 23rd, and we got just a couple things that will be happening, and just wanted to make sure, invite people if they want to participate. We are going to kick off with a roller skating activation. I've got some roller skaters who put on skategroove.com and the roller skating legends event that went viral that happens in D.C. So they're coming in from D.C., Michigan, Chicago. We're going to put up the pop-up skate and have an activation starting on Friday, July 22nd, and it opens at 4 p.m. and it's the 3CDC Frisch's skating. I hate that I won't be able to skate. I said, I finally got the outdoor skating I've been pushing for, and they come with it this year just in time for me to have torn my meniscus, and I have not had a chance to skate on it, but certainly have had a chance to do the grand opening. But we're going to move it to the Andrew Brady Center at 25 Ray Street, and it will also be connected with the 513 Festival 513. So that's going to kick off. A lot of the artists had to break their records in at the skating rink because they could not go into the big facilities. I remember seeing Stacey Lattisaw, Johnny Gill at the Cincinnati Gardens skating rink because, again, they could not get into the major facilities and stadiums that they can do now. And even Straight Outta Compton showed you a lot of the rappers that had to come out and perform at the skating rink. So we wanted skating connected to the history of Black music. And so we're kicking that off on Friday. But then on Saturday, which is the main day, we are having the second induction class that will be going in. Penny Ford, High Tech, Wilbert Longmire, and Midnight Star. It's a reunion for Midnight Star. All the original members will be here. And Penny Ford's flying in from Germany. She texted me early this morning. She's on a flight on her way in. Reggie Calloway, part of Midnight Star, founding members. He should be touching down in Cincinnati in the next 20 minutes. His brother Vincent came in the day before. So it's going to be a great affair. But more importantly, I just want to let people know it's not an event. It's not a promotion. We are building, just like they build Paul Brown Stadium. They build Great American Ballpark. We are building on the Ohio Banks, a Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. It's historical. We've never had anything funded with the word Black in it from a government standpoint. And that goes all the way back to the 1800s. This is something that when the music festival, we're very excited about it, the music festival, when it's over this weekend, the Black Music Walk of Fame will have something permanent still there that you could go to 365 days. The project will not be fully completed, but you need to go and see it as it's building. And we went from rocks 1 year. 1 year ago, we announced that all I had was a poster holding it up saying we need to have a Black Music Walk of Fame. We've gone from a poster, we've gone from rocks to actually walls are going up. It's being built, and the first 8 stars, last year's inductees, Bootsy Collins, Otis Williams, Dr. Charles Fode, and Isley Brothers stars will go in with this year's inductees. The 8 stars will go into the ground. We're having a completely free induction ceremony with the red carpet. It's going to be a first-class production to do the induction ceremony. We'll then put the stars in the ground, and then we will end it with a free celebration, community celebration with a special performance by Zap, who will do a performance in honor of the inductees. And we'll have activations and a whole lot of free stuff given away. I just want to highlight that this is huge for our county and for us to have all 3 commissioners. We voted unanimously for us to build it. And then I had to get private funding to fund the stars and the event so that this thing could be free. We also, the Board of County Commissioners, we will be offering free parking. That's unheard of. Free parking for this event. And the parking will be right up under the Andrew Brady Center. You need to come in on Marion Way, because Elm Street will be cut off. Freedom Way will be cut off because of Festival 513. Come on Marion Way, and right up under, you'll pass the construction of the Walk of Fame. You'll see the sign. You can park in there, and you can park until 4 o'clock. Our event will be over. Now, you can't go there and park, say, I'm going to stay there and go to the Jazz Fest. That won't work. You'll have to pay for that, because we got the Reds game, we got the festival, but you will be able to park free for this county event called the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. And I wanted to highlight that. I also wanted to let people know, as you're going into the festival, those who are getting tickets, et cetera, that our county commission, we passed to bring this event back because it brings us $107 million of economic impact. We voted for $690,000 so this event could happen at the music festival, the Hamilton County Commission, to get it back up, get it back going. We also supported Festival 513 that had been down for 3 years and is connected right there with the festival. So, again, these are things that have never happened before in terms of our county. And we're going to be doing Blink. And I said, we're doing Blink. We got to also include some, of our events, the music festival. So, wanted to just say that and want people to enjoy. And certainly next year, I said we're going to have to deal with this hotel situation because we can't, and I said that at my meeting, I know the hotel's been down, but you can't make all the money off of just this one weekend. We've got to have some more fair rates. So we'll be talking about that more next year. But just wanted to tell people that is the information for the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. It's Saturday. It starts at noon. And we're going from noon to about 3 o'clock. And it is free. And we do have free parking in that particular lot. Now, don't go running a whole bunch of other lots and hand us your ticket. If you get a ticket, you are in the wrong lot. So I wanted to give those that information, but I'm very excited about the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame because I can't believe that it was just a year. And 1 year later, we went from rocks to building something that's going to be historical. You're going to be able to see the video at the event that will be animated, that will show you all of the technology that's getting ready to happen at this Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. And so people are coming from all over the country. Essence Magazine will be in the house covering this event, along with a lot of folks from all over the country. So invite everybody to come on out. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to honor and make history at this event. So just wanted to get that information out, Nathan, and hopefully you'll be able to be there and join us. We have a special pass for you, so I hope that you can join us on this Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. And again, you saying history, you're absolutely right about that. It cannot be it should not be understated just how big this is that you put together. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you calling in and keeping us, abreast of what's going on, Alicia. I really do. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll see you Saturday. Nathan, when you get done, text me so I can tell you where to get your pass, because we want to make sure you're up front and all access.
I will. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, most def. That's Alicia Reece. Again, I mean every word. I mean, that is huge. I keep telling you. I keep saying it. I'm going to say this again. Cincinnati is on the come up. Black Cincinnati is on the come up. Don't let these naysayers, these negative people, these people that's always thinking of Cincinnati the same old way, don't let them get in your head. Cincinnati is on the come up. Think about all these things that's happening at once. Okay, we've got the taste thing going on. We got the black taste. Shout out to J. Raj. Okay, you got Jason Dunn and Cincinnati's Visitors Bureau. They've changed their name, but they've got events going on. Okay, you got Black Tech Week. Black Tech Week, and now you got the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. I'm telling you, when people come to Cincinnati and they see the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame and they see the things that are going on, they're going to leave with a different impression of Cincinnati. They're going to think about Cincinnati in a different way. Things are changing for people that can see it. Some folks are forever stuck in the past and everything's wrong and everything's negative, but I think that's huge. I think it's absolutely huge. She made an excellent point. She was like, and I don't think she was trying to diss it, but Black Tech Week is going to leave. That's a one-time, for a week event. The Music Fest, that's going to come and go. But the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame is going to be a tangible asset, a physical asset. Is going to be here forever. It's always going to be here. And it can be yet another point to sell the city. And she founded it, so I think it's huge. And then who don't like music? Everybody loves music. And without black music, if you want to put it that way, there'd be no music. So, come on, this is huge. Get excited. Be proud about what's happening. Get involved in what's happening in your city. Because amazing things are happening right now, this week. So I meant what I said. I appreciate Alicia and her efforts to put that together. And I think it's gonna live longer than she is. It's gonna live longer than I am. Live longer than everybody listening right now. You'll be dead. That's still gonna be here. And it's not just music. It's pushing our culture forward. This is pushing our culture forward. For years and years and years and years, you had all these great black innovators and creatives to help to build this city and this region, this state and this country. They never got any recognition. Everybody else getting recognition. Why shouldn't we get recognition for what our creators and what our people have done? I think it's beautiful. I loves it. So, and who don't like Midnight Star? Show me somebody don't like Midnight Star. I don't like them. If you don't like Midnight Star, I don't like you. What's wrong with you? This is super dope. So earlier she talked about Candace Matthews. I think her name is Candace Matthews Brackeen or something like that. But we'll say what Candace Matthews is. I understand that she went to UC. She's also the CEO of something called Lightship Capital. Lightship Capital is a black-owned firm, and what they do is they give money to startups and put them on your radar screen. Because you might decide you got an idea for a startup and you want to pitch them. You should pitch them. See what happens. You never know. It's beautiful things happening. Listen, all the negativity and everything that's going wrong, I get it. But sometimes we got to step back and just appreciate what's actually happening that's positive and what's good and promote that. And, on some levels, that's what I'm all about. Good morning to you. Like I said, this is an acquired taste. I'm not for everybody. 9 times out of 10, if you listen long enough, I'm going to rub you the wrong way. I ain't trying to. It's just natural. But if you support black people, then you got to like your boy Nathan Ivey. You know what I'm saying? Because I support us at the end of the day. Good morning to you. That's good. It tastes different. She was trying to poison me. I'm joking. No, she wasn't. Good morning. So thank you for Rosemary doing big things. Alicia Reece doing big things. Appreciate them calling into the show and keeping us up on game. Appreciate it. I see that Rosemary has posted some links if you want to learn more about the Holloway House. She got some links in the description so you can check it out on Facebook. For my YouTube people, the links are on Facebook. So Marisha writes, I saw you were down there. She writes, Black Tech Week is everything. You but tell them. They need to have them kids. All kids need that. You talking about a field trip. Now that's a field trip. Recently, my son went to Jungle Gyms as a field trip. Now, who the hell want to go to Jungle Gyms? They took these kids out to Jungle Gyms. That's the worst place in the world to take a kid for a damn field trip. He hated it. He was like, guess what, Dad? He got in the car. First thing he told us. He's like, we went to Jungle Gyms, and guess what? I was like, what? It was boring. I know it was boring. Out there looking at shelves of food. They should have took them down to Black Tech Week. Take these black kids down to Black Tech Week to be around black, forward-thinking people who ain't just talking, because a lot of people do all of this. They just talking, but ain't doing nothing. Let them go down and see some people that's actually producing, right? That's actually building something that's tangible, something that's going to bring them some money, that's going to move and innovate. That'll inspire them. Now that will inspire them. Joe writes, high hotel prices are generally people from out of town. You're right. I'm not buying a hotel downtown because I live downtown. I do know it's an issue. Some of that is supply and demand. You can't get a hotel room anywhere near downtown Cincinnati. You got to go way out to the damn suburbs or to the west side or something like that. You know, Alicia says she's going to get on top of it. It is, but I'm not going to let that drown out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a hotel. You know, when you go out of town for a conference, they jack the price up a little bit. Are they jacking the prices more in the city of Cincinnati? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. TNT writes, black on black on black. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. On some positive-ish. On positive. You know, we always worried about the young people. Take these young people down to Black Tech Week next year. Let them sit in the crowd and be around some of these black founders. That'll inspire. You want them to put down the guns and pick up something? You got to give them something to pick up that means something. Start your own company. Start your own tech company. Start your own whatever it might be. Now that's inspiring. Yeah, I like that. Now that's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Everybody run around trying to tell young people what not to do. What should they be doing then? What are we going to put in front of them that's going to be as attractive as what they doing already? I don't know. I'm telling you, it's some amazing stories, man. And I'm going to do my best to reach out to these folks that bring them to the show. There's some amazing things happening in this region. And, you know, I just want to help promote it because I think it's what's necessary. It's what's needed. We need that. See, good morning to you. And people are saying they really like Alicia Reece. Absolutely. They like the show. Thank you very much. If you're just tuning in, we got some news. I want to share this with you. And again, if I don't share this, then nobody else is. But the Nathan Ivey Show was recognized as one of the 30 best morning talk shows by a new website called feedspot.com. And apparently they sent me an email just kind of letting me know and asking me to talk about it. It was the first week of July. I missed it. I don't know what I was doing. I'm going back through my emails because I was trying to recover an email that someone obviously emailed to me that I didn't respond to. So I'm going to go back to respond to it. And as I'm going back, I see it this morning like, oh, word. Okay, cool. I appreciate it. We are one of the best 30 best. Matter of fact, we probably higher than that. We are one of the best 30 morning talk shows. We are. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Hands down. Hands down. No doubt about it. And have always been. And we're just getting started. You know what I'm saying? Myself and the Choppers, we created something beautiful. We created an example for others to follow. And we have created a lane for ourselves here in this market and beyond. No doubt about it, 100%. Anybody say anything else is hating. Let them hate. We're going to keep doing what we do. We focused on winning. So I appreciate the folks over at, it's called FeedSpot. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. And they're right. Gosh darn it, they're right about it. Good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, you got my number, 513-873. That's a 7. Looks like a 1, doesn't it? 873-7134. That's actually good. Look at this. Isn't that doped out? Dope artwork, local black artist. Shout out to Michael Colbert, local black artist. Don't let nobody tell you that Nate don't support his people. I do it in my actions. Look at that. That is super dope, man. Look at that. I wish I could do that. I don't have that. God didn't bless me with that kind of creativity. My creativity is this and this and this. That's my creativity. Mine not the governor. Ladies, not mine not the governor. That's my creativity. But everybody's creative in a different way. But good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Notifications not showing up. Yeah, I was reading that. You know what? I'm not even going to say nothing about the notifications because I haven't done anything about it yet. Okay, so I'm just tired of talking about it. You know, Facebook can do whatever they want to do with their notifications. Is their platform. Do what they want to do. If they want to notify people, notify people. If they don't. Find me on YouTube. YouTube seems to be far more consistent in giving out its notifications than Facebook is. So find me on YouTube. If you haven't already done so, Nathan, Ivey. And matter of fact, let me go on YouTube and I'll send you a link to my Facebook people. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the YouTube channel because I think that their notification system is better. It just seems to be better. I mean, most of the times when people say, well, I didn't get notification, it's from Facebook. So Facebook is tripping. You know, they're trying to appease the Republicans and all this other nonsense. Mark Zuckerberg is trying real hard. It's posted a link there. Mark Zuckerberg is trying real hard to make sure that the government doesn't offer some kind of oversight, as in regulating the Facebook. That is, telling them what they can and cannot do. So they're trying to do everything they can to kiss as much as hiney as possible from Congress. And part of that is, I feel like, cracking down and messing with people and political type shows like this that have a political lean to the left. It's either that or it's just something that just happens. So I don't know. Either way, I ain't going to give it too much energy because winners focus on winning. We don't focus on the hurdles. We focus on the goal. So do what you want to do, Facebook. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Keisha writes, YouTube be tripping too. There is no perfect science to any of this. That's what I've learned. There is no perfect science to any of it. We'll get to that in a second. So things on my radar screen. Let me go back. I was talking about Monique, and Monique has a new special finally happening. And for all the people that was hating on Monique, I just want to say, sis was right. She appears to have been right. Everything she said about Netflix appears to be right. She had a settlement just a few months ago, and now she got a Netflix special. So how was she wrong? We got to stop doing that. Like, people speak up and they get hated on. TNT writes, yeah, no notifications for the past few days. Yeah, that I was wondering why it seems like the numbers were not what they usually are, but I don't really focus on that. I focus on the topics and delivering a good show. It's out of my hands. I have had multiple conversations, if you want, conversed with, people from Facebook, which is really rare because usually when you reach out to Facebook, you don't get no response. I actually have conversed with Facebook officials over the years about a multitude of things, which is the strangest thing in the world. It's really, really rare. But it is what it is. Hey, Daryl, hold on one second, brother. Coming straight to you. I want to get this out because I've been trying to get it out, and my time is short with you. But Monique was right. She was right about Facebook. She was right. They tried to lowball her, and then when she went public, they tried to shut her down, which was not their usual way of negotiating. It seems like she was right. She got a settlement, and now she got a new Netflix special. So now she has to deliver. Now she got to be funny. Hey, what's up, Dorit? Now she got to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Because she wanted the Netflix special. She got it. I saw a statement from Netflix, and they were like, it was like a glowing statement. Like, she's iconic. She's this, she's that. We are so grateful to have Monique. And I'm like, damn, just 4 months ago, y'all was at each other's necks. Because she was right. It appears that Monique was right. They was right. I mean, it appears that she was right. So now she's got this new comedy special. They haven't started shooting it yet. They're going to start shooting it soon. And this all came after settling her legal dispute. Now, she was also right about Lee Daniels. She was also right about D.L. Hughley. She was wrong about them bonnets, though. She was wrong about that. So get his sister her props. She was right about Lee Daniels. Remember she was calling out Lee Daniels, how he tried to play her after Precious, and Lee Daniels tried to make her into, she was a difficult woman, which played into stereotypes about black women. Oh, she just difficult. And black people was like, yup, she always got a problem. I think D.L. Hughley said something like that, like, yeah, she got a problem with everybody, which I thought was wrong. It's like, don't try to pile on DL. Don't do that. She got a problem with everybody. I'll say it again. If you have a backbone and you got standards, in the crazy world we live in, you're going to have clashes. You're going to clash. It's going to happen. You show me somebody don't clash, that's somebody that has no standards or they don't stand up for themselves and just let things go. But if you're a principled man or woman in today's world, you are going to clash. If you got standards, if you know how you want to be dealt with, if you know what respect is, you're going to clash. Because this world going to test you. People in this world going to test you. They're going to disrespect you. They're going to test you. They're going to talk crazy to you. They're going to try to play you. They're going to try to undervalue you. And a lot of people just go along and get along. I ain't going to say nothing. 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 I was going to say something, but I ain't going to say nothing. Those kind of people don't clash. But the kind of people that it's kind of like, wait a minute, this ain't right. You're going to fall out all the time in this crazy world we live in. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You're going to fall out all the time because this world is going to test you. That's just the way this world is. That's the way people are. That's the way people are. And depending on how you are will depend on what happens. Like I said, I see it all the time. I've seen it. I ain't going to say nothing. You know you're right, but I ain't going to say nothing. Huh? You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got principles and you got a backbone, you're going to clash. And when I look at Monique, that's what I see. I just see a lady that got, she know who she is and she ain't going to let you just do anything to her and say anything to her. Those kind of people always clash. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that, Big Ant. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Most def. But let's go straight to the phones. We got Daryl on the line. Hey, good morning, brother. Welcome.
What's up, Nate? Hey, yeah, I caught your show late. I don't know what's going on with the provider. I'll just put it that way. This platform. Yeah, I don't know what happened because I was looking for your notifications as early as a little bit after 7, and I didn't see anything. But so this tech week is that event an entire week or is it just one day?
No, it's an entire week. It's like Tuesday through Friday.
Oh, okay. So will it always be around this time every year going forth?
I believe so, yes. I believe that's what the plan is, yep. So every year it's going to coincide with, the other festivities happening here in the city.
Oh, okay. That's where I was getting at. So it's going to coincide with that and it's going to be part of it, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man. And they didn't take your son down. Yeah, man, they missed that one.
They ain't thinking about it, but I'm gonna start suggesting that. We should start thinking like these summers camps. See if you can take them out this Black Tech Week and let these little kids see that. That's powerful. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that suggestion to the summer camp director for next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what?
I'm even willing to chaperone. I'll even spend my day with the kids to take them to something like that for sure.
So was it conferences and a lot of exhibits and vendors? What was the setup of the Black Tech Week? How was the setup?
So during the day you got conferences, and then during the evening you got more social events. But it's all geared toward information and networking. And they even got some things like in the morning as well for the people who are out of towners.
And this is at the convention center?
This is down at Memorial Center downtown, like near Washington Park. Yep. But I think they've got it at different events around down Cincinnati. But I think it's primarily most of the conferences are going to be at Memorial Hall down there, I believe. Okay,
so look, I'm dated back to Cincinnati circa 2005.
Right.
Memorial Hall. Okay. That's when they did the revamp of Washington Park, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I'm with you now. Okay. All right. So, couple of things to keep your eye on from a political standpoint.
Okay.
Number one, Lindsey Graham accepted the subpoena here in Georgia, so he will be appearing before the Supreme Court. I mean, the grand jury. I'm talking about the Supreme Court. And then number two, and I don't know if you touched on it because I came in late, is this thing with the Secret Service and those deleted texts. Man, that's big. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal, because now the people might be like, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that I put it this way. On the night, was it the night before or the night before 1/6, when Kamala Harris was in the DNC headquarters by herself and they found that bomb there, somebody knew on the inside what was going on. And I'm talking about inside Secret Service to leave her vulnerable like that. And now you still have those moles inside the Secret Service, sort of, or apparently watching them. That whole thing, man, y'all better get out and vote. But that's all I got, Nate. I was just interested in that tech week, because that's a good thing for, like you said, that's a good thing for Cincinnati. And I wish I would have came up this week instead of last weekend, but it sounds like y'all gonna hold it down and have a nice time. I hope it works out for y'all.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl, thanks for the call.
All right,
I appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah, he hipped us a game. I'm aware of what happened with the text messages and the Secret Service. It just goes to show you that, Trump had a lot of sympathizers. Like you and I might, as much as sometimes I have to stop myself. I got to check myself, because as much as I want to clown Trump and disregard him, you cannot. You cannot. There's a lot of people that jive with Trump. There's a lot of people that liked his policies. They liked his aura, his personality. They liked it. And I'll say this again. I think that there's a value in figuring out what it is exactly that they liked. Whether it was policies or his charisma, whatever it was. And he had a lot of support, even inside the Secret Service. They put in a records request for the text messages related to January 6th. They come back with one text message. Now, why does that tell you that? This is probably from the outside looking in. I'm only speculating here, just as my opinion with no facts, is that there might be something incriminating toward Trump, or maybe to some of the Secret Service members. So anybody that says that January 6th is not worthy of our attention is either trying to lie to you, or they were involved, or they just don't know any better. Because I'll say it again, it is remarkable that within our lifetime, we saw a coup attempt. I mean, this is for the history books. This is the kind of stuff that typically we read about. This happened within our lifetime. We watch in our lifetime a U.S. president win and another U.S. president say nope. And then they got the nerve to talk about black people. They got the nerve to look at us like we corrupt. This man was the president of the United States and lied and lied and lied, and not only lied, but he got a lot of people. Like right now, there's some people, I forget what state it is in. I want to say Georgia. Correct me if I'm wrong. They might be dealing with, it might not be Georgia, but in one of these states, they basically, they created some fake documents. They created fake documents to support Trump's misguided claims, his lies, that the election was stolen. So let me get this straight. So since the election is stolen, you're going to doctor up and create fake documents to steal the election. That's what they did. This is huge. This happened right in front of us. If this was Obama, all these people running around here right now talking about they don't want to talk about it, it'd be the only thing they're talking about. If this was Obama, and this happened within our lifetime, we all sat here and watched this. And then these folks went to the Capitol and committed mass acts of violence against police officers, man. At the same time, we having all these conversations about black people in the police. You got black people getting shot unarmed. I just saw a video since yesterday's show of a black man who's running from police. He gets gunned down in the back. And these Trump sympathizers, with no evidence whatsoever, just a feeling and some lies from Trump and other people that they trusted, go to the Capitol and try to, among other things, to assassinate the Speaker of the House. Could you imagine if this was black folks? Could you imagine if these were Obama supporters? Could you imagine if that was Black Lives Matter? These mofos, some of these folks was trying to kill the sitting vice president. Literally. And we just not going to talk about this? This is like, oh, small potatoes, this is old news. Don't let that happen. Meanwhile, if you see a kid on the street in some diapers, everybody talking about where's mom at. But we're not supposed to talk about what happened on January 6th when they tried to overthrow the country. And what you think was going to happen to black folks if they overthrew the country? If these folks were successful in overthrowing the elected president, what you think they was going to do with black people? You think it was going to be fair with us? Telling you, we are living in amazing times, my friend. It is amazing what's happening right now. We are truly living in the last days of common sense. No doubt about it, 100%. 100%. This happened within our lifetime. This is the kind of stuff we've read about. Growing up, you read about this crazy stuff that happens. You're like, what in the world? How could this ever happen? It's because that's what happens when good people do nothing. You sit back. And the bad people, and I say that very, very loosely, because nobody's good or bad. You know, we're a mixture of all different kind of things as human beings. They run over. Just absolutely amazing, man. Just amazing time. So I appreciate you. Graxton, I love you, bro. I love you like a play cousin. I love you like a play cousin, Graxton. But your brain, bro, when I heard you call into the Black Authority talking that nonsense, I was like, oh my Lord. I don't know, bro. What's going on up here, man? No disrespect to you, cousin. But what you just wrote there is the most ridiculous thing I've read in a long time. You know what I'm saying? With that John Cranley Schmedium t-shirt on, as Glenn used to say all the time. Crazy talk, man. Crazy talk. What you think they was going to do with black folks next? What you think was going to happen? They take over the country on some, we just going to take it. You think it was going to be fair with us? Come on now. Please. But back to Monique. I was talking about Monique just a little. These are some things on my radar screen. Then I want to open the door for a segment or two for what's on your mind. What's on your mind? You know, what's on your mind? What are we missing? You know, day to day, as I curate these topics, I can't see and hear everything, but what's on your mind? What are we missing? What should we be talking about? I'll open up the show for the next 15 minutes for what's on your mind. Let me know. Send me a link. Brian's cracking up. Schmedium, that's right. Shout out to Glenn, man, looking down on us. You know he's still listening, if he can. That Schmedium. Come on, Graxton. Come on, bro. You tripping, man. You tripping. Yeah, you know, Graxton out here voting every single election, but then trying to tell black people not to vote. I take that back. I never really heard him say that. I take that back. I can't say that about Graxton. He never said that. What he says is votes, elections have consequences. Now, he'll never say that. I got to take that back. I don't put words in his mouth that's not true. I take that back. Shaba writes, how many of y'all want to bet the Secret Service got pointers from John Cranley on how to lose text messages? Maybe, man. Maybe. They tried to get John, but John was too, I don't know, either he has the inside track on it or he just naturally just that kind of a guy. Because it came out in the PG Sinfield trial. They tried to get him. The FBI gave one of his staffers $15,000 to give to John Cranley. So what does that show you? That shows you, see, there was a lot of speculation, and again, I'm not sure what to believe, but there was a lot of speculation that the former mayor, John Cranley, was working with the feds and was pointing the feds in the direction of various council members. That was part of speculation, right? In the PG Sinfield trial, what we found out is that the feds were, at least initially, at some point, they were targeting him. But he skirted out of it. So, what money? I never got new money. He stole it. We are living in amazing times. Tracy writes, what's on my mind, the black kids at Sesame Park that have been ignored by the cartoon characters. I did see that. There's a video out that's circulating of black kids being ignored by Sesame Street characters. I did see that. Absolutely. I don't know how to process it. What I would say is that if I was in charge of the characters, there'd be some changes. If I saw a video, if I'm the person that's in charge of the characters at Sesame Street and I'm paying you to interact with the young people and I see something like that, you probably ain't gonna have no job. I need to understand why. Explain this to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, you took this job to be a friendly character. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. But I don't know what they're going to do with that story. I haven't been following it. So what's the latest on that story, Tracy? As we wait for that, let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Black Russia. Good morning.
What's up? Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day, bro.
No homo.
Happy Hump Day. What's on your mind?
Did you see that? Hey, did you see that article in the Inquirer this morning about CPS and ACLU and all that?
Yeah, I've been talking about it. I talked about it yesterday. I saw the article in CDB Magazine yesterday. So, yeah, I'm aware of it.
Oh, yes. CDB?
Yeah.
Okay. Inquirer must have picked it up. I didn't know it was in CDB. I missed yesterday. I was busy.
Yeah, the Inquirer picked it up from, there was something from the state, from Columbus. There's an organization in Columbus, and they kind of reprinted it from there. But I saw it first in the CDB Magazine, like Monday, Tuesday.
Really? Okay. I do look at CDB. I should look at it a little more. But, yeah, I think the people in Columbus is Capital Junk.
That might be what it is.
Yeah. I was just like, wow.
Well, I mean, is the answer to get rid of the state police from the public schools? I don't think so.
Well, I think the answer is deeper than that. So it's not just about, I made this point yesterday, because a lot of people are going to misdiagnose this. The real issue, I'm not saying that there's two separate issues here. One issue is how the administrators, and we've talked about this before, that's the principals and assistant principals, how they dole out discipline. And then the other issue is, should we have resource officers, police officers in our schools? There's two issues. They're not the same, although they have a similar impact, and that's the overall discipline and the feeling of the school.
Well, shouldn't they overlap to some degree?
I'm sorry, what would you say?
I would say, shouldn't they overlap in some respect?
Well, they do overlap. I'm not saying there's not overlap, but I'm just saying is, if we're going to be fair, there's two different issues. Like, resource officers don't decide who gets expelled and in-school suspension. That's not what they do. Those are the administrators.
That's correct.
Right?
Right.
So that's the administrators that need to be looked at. I told you firsthand that just because you got a black administrator don't mean the black kids are safe. You tried to argue with me and tell me I was wrong. And I'm telling you what I saw. So that's one issue.
Well, I'll still say you're wrong about that, but go ahead.
I couldn't be wrong about it. I couldn't be wrong about it because I'm telling you what I saw. And now the ACLU and students and parents, if you read the article, they did a questionnaire with student and parents, and they have some issues that they've seen as well. But then the second issue is it good for the overall school environment to have police officers in our schools? And I think there's a real question there. I think that's a very fair question that needs to be researched. I think we should see
the new superintendent said,
we do it better.
Well, the superintendent said she's going to look at it in the first 100 days. So I don't know how many days it's been now. It's like 60 now. So I guess here we are.
Yeah, she got a lot on her plate. That sister got a lot because she got to learn Cincinnati. And then she got to learn the bureaucracy that is CPS, right? And all the politics and deal with these issues as she's dealing. She got a huge task on her hands. I wish her the best.
Yeah, I think she's up to it. Coming from Detroit and coming from Fort Lauderdale, I think she's okay.
What's that mean?
Because those are major, populated school districts. And I've had one interaction with her, and she seemed pleasant. So she's competent. She'll be okay.
You ran into her at a party or something? Or?
Yeah, it was a party. It was a public event. Yeah, it was like come meet superintendent, right? So I did that and got to chit chat with her, and I have confidence in her.
You have confidence in her. Okay, good.
Also, I did want to mention what you said. Well, I put in the chat about January 6th. It's like Democrats are too focused. There's an election in November. The Democrats are way too focused. I ain't heard no messaging about November other than abortion being the top issue. And I don't think the people think that's the top issue. I think I've been reading that the economy is the top issue. And I just haven't heard Democrats talk enough about that.
You haven't heard Democrats talking about what?
The economy. Like the issues, the table issues that people really care about. I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning a majority of the Senate. I don't see it happening. They're just not talking about the right issues. They're focused on abortion. Like they're having hearings. I've seen on C-SPAN, they've been having multiple hearings on abortion.
Like, well, they just passed something. The House just passed something, protections for reproductive rights. So they're not just having hearings. They just passed some legislation. We'll see if it gets through the Senate.
We know it ain't going to get through the Senate, though. Joe Manchin is the king of the Senate. Along with Richard McConnell and them, they co-ruling that. We know it's not getting through the Senate. That's what I'm saying. It's about messaging at this point because you ain't going to get no policy passed. That's going to end up in the White House desk regarding abortion. So they got to figure out some messaging.
I mean, I think there's a lot of different issues, but because of the Supreme Court, I think that abortion rights are an issue now. The Supreme Court has just made it an issue. So I think that's an issue.
But it's a winning issue. That's what it is. Like you said, like you quoted me. Elections have consequences, right? Mm-hmm. So we got these consequences in place. And so now the only way you're going to overturn those consequences is if you vote. I'll never tell people like,
I hate it when you do this, man. You play dumb. I hate that. I hate it when you play dumb. What are you talking about, man? What I'm talking about is you are a political consultant. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay, then. So why are you acting like you don't know how the game is played? You got an election coming up in November. The Supreme Court, the Republicans, just did something that basically gives the Democrats something to talk about and run in, and you saying that they're dumb to use it. If you were a political consultant for the Democrats, you would tell them to talk about abortion, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you
would.
No,
I wouldn't.
Yes, you
absolutely no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Matter of fact, I got clients right now. I tell them don't even talk about it. Because it's not going to win. It's not a winning issue.
It's not an winning issue. No, it's not a winning issue with women.
Not in Ohio. No.
Yeah, but we talk. So now, wait. So first we was talking about national. Now we talking about just Ohio.
I do my business in Ohio. I can always speak to Ohio perspective.
So you telling me that women don't care about reproductive rights?
Not in the sense that they're going to go vote on it. That's going to be the single issue they're going to vote on. No.
I haven't looked up the numbers. It won't take me a long time to do so, but I would have to say you're wrong on that. I say that abortion rights, because of what the Supreme Court is an issue for women in the upcoming election. And I think a smart politician has to talk about the issues that's in front of them. So I don't know if it's a winning proposition or not. We won't know until November. But to suggest that the Democrats shouldn't be talking about reproductive rights, it's almost like you're saying that women don't matter on some levels.
What I'm saying is women care about feeding their kids and making sure they got the lights on, the mortgage gets paid before they care about abortion.
And they care about having control over their bodies.
But that's the last one on the totem pole that they need to be running on to win in November.
Says who? Do you have any
numbers? Says me. Says the consultant. Says the consultant. I say that. Says me, the consultant.
Yeah, but what are you basing that off of?
I'm basing it on the headwinds that's going on in Ohio with the economy. Gas still high. It came down some, but it's still high as hell. Okay, inflation's still through the roof. People still paying 12% extra for food, 10% extra for used vehicles. I mean, everything's through the roof.
That's true.
That's the main. I'm saying that's the main thing, though. I'm not saying abortion.
I haven't looked at any poll numbers. I don't know.
This one
I
issue.
don't know what people are saying out there. All I'm saying is that's an issue too. I think that the women's reproductive rights has become an issue too, and that's a part of it.
You think Greg Lance is going to win on
the House
abortion?
of Reps, the Democrats just passed these protections for women. Are they not supposed to do anything?
What I'm saying is that the DOA and the Senate, so you're not going to get that move. So what I'm saying is they need to be focusing on messaging. That's the number one critical thing I'm talking about. If you want to win elections in November, that's what I'm saying. If you want to win, you got to focus on the issues that's really hitting people the hardest. Abortion is not one of them. Food prices, inflation,
says a man.
The economy.
I mean, you do understand how sexist you're coming across. Like here you are, a man saying that reproductive rights don't matter. It's not like a major issue.
I didn't say it didn't matter. What I said was it's not a major issue, and that's different.
Sounds sexist. You might be right, but it sounds sexist coming from a man.
Maybe it does. I really don't even get into like what people think of me for real in terms of my perspectives. But I'll just tell you, professionally speaking, that abortion is not a winner this coming November. It's not.
I don't. Again, send me some numbers. Show me some polls. Show me some stats that back that up. I mean, I know you have your opinion, and I'm not trying to disqualify it. All I'm saying is I just disagree with you. I think there's multiple issues, and I think that reproductive rights has become a major issue now, and the Democrats would be dumb not to do something about it and to point out some of the distinctions between Democrat candidates and Republican candidates in the upcoming election in November. I think that would be not smart. Now they can walk and chew gum at the same time. They can talk about abortion and also these other issues. And I think that's probably what's going to happen.
They're not doing that though. I mean, I'll send you the numbers on what people. Okay, I'll send you a link about it. But hey, what about the Democrats get problems because they don't even want Joe Biden to be running for a second term? Majority of them. I know you've seen that poll.
I have seen that poll. People think he's too old.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, that's what the poll I said. I saw it said that people think the Democrats that responded in this poll said they believe he's too old.
Oh, that might be true, but regardless of the matter, whether he's too old or he just don't know what the hell's going on, Democrats don't like Joe Biden.
I don't know if that's true,
and that can hurt in November too.
Democrats don't like. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that there's a level of disappointment because he hasn't, in some people's mind, passed got the big things passed. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens in November. The other thing about it is with the party in power typically loses seats during the midterm. That happens whether a Democrat or Republicans in the White House. Happened during Trump.
I'm glad you said that. So who's in power right now?
The Democrats. The Democrat president.
Right. They got the House, they got the Senate, and they got the White House.
They got the Senate kinda. Like, do they really have the Senate? Not really. Because of Joe Manchin.
Well, that's their Democrat. I mean, you tell me a Democrat who can win West Virginia other than Joe Manchin. I couldn't tell you one.
I don't know enough about West Virginia to tell you that. I'm sure there's somebody.
Okay, well, that could beat him. I doubt it. That's why he's so conservative as a Democrat. Because he wants to keep that seat.
Right.
So, I mean, if there was somebody that was good enough, they'd be primarying Joe Manchin. But I ain't see nobody step up to the plate. So I'm assuming he's the best one they got. So what Joe Biden got to do is learn how to work with Joe Manchin. I've seen people like blasting Joe Manchin saying he's sinking Joe Biden's agenda. Well, maybe Joe Biden needs to adjust his agenda.
I think the Democrats tried that, especially when you talk about this climate bill they tried to get passed and Joe Manchin killed it. The reason why it took so long, as I understand it, is because they were trying to negotiate with him. But Joe Manchin is who he is. So when people say the Democrats have the Senate, yeah, kind of, but not really. Because of Joe Manchin. And yes, he is a Democrat, but he's kind of like a dino, Democrat in name only.
Well, this is nothing new, so
right. The Democrats. So there's nothing new. Then why are you saying the Democrats got control of the Senate when you know they don't?
But they do, though. They're still, in numbers, they do. You got to negotiate within your own party.
Not really. If they did, then Joe Manchin wouldn't be as influential as he is.
Well, let's look at Joe Manchin.
We're going to have this conversation. Let's educate people about what's really going on. So what's really going on?
Joe Manchin's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat. He's a dino. Democrat in name only.
Okay, that's an opinion.
It is
That's
an
not
opinion.
necessarily fact.
I mean, it's an opinion
Right,
based
right.
upon the way I've seen him vote and things like that. So I'm saying is, don't just stop with the Democrats got the Senate. That's not necessarily accurate to what's going on. If we're going to do this, let's educate people about what's really, really going on. And what's really, really going on is Joe Manchin is a dino, Democrat in name only. You know,
Well,
the big
that's a
pieces,
perspective, but
the big pieces of Joe Biden's legislation that all the Democrats from the House of Representatives and the Senate got behind, Joe Manchin has killed it. So if we're going to have this conversation, let's have the whole conversation so people know what's really going on.
I think we are, though, by indicating that Joe Manchin is a Democrat. You can call him.
Because you're talking to me. If you was talking to Black Authority, if you was talking to Black Authority, he would never make that distinction because that dumb stuff plays into what he sells. But since you're talking to me and I know better, I'm going to take the time to make sure we talk about these things the way they should really be talked about. That's the difference.
I mean, what you're really doing is making excuses for Joe Manchin and the Democratic Party for not being in formation.
Has anything I've said about Joe Manchin been wrong?
Yeah, calling him a dino. A dino.
Now you just said out of your own mouth that he has to be conservative in order to keep his seat. So which is it? Am I right or am I right?
You're wrong because he's still a Democrat, bro.
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. I mean, he's still a Democrat. You have an opinion about Joe Manchin. A lot of people do.
So what
but
makes
the reality
a
is that don't change his politics, though. He's still a Democrat.
So what makes you
Democrats
a Democrat?
gotta look in the
is
mirror.
it the fact you have a letter in front of you, or is it the policies that you get behind?
It's the letter in front of you. Always, because you would always say, because okay, that's a difference of opinion. But the facts are that he's a Democrat. I mean, he's registered a Democrat. That's a fact. That's not an opinion.
But he's a dino.
You can say whatever you want about
him. For the third time I said,
that's your opinion of him.
It's not my opinion. You just said that's the reason why he keeps his seat in West Virginia, because he's conservative. If you look at his voting record, he's voted against all the major pieces of Joe Biden's agenda. Every last piece of it, nearly, I think for maybe one or two examples, he's voted against it. So
but that don't change his party, though. Yes, he is. Okay. He's still a Democrat.
All right.
I'm just saying. You can have an opinion about his politics and call him a dino. So that's fair. You could do that. But that don't change facts, though.
He's a Democrat that votes majority with the Republicans. But he's a Democrat.
That's fair to say. Yes. Okay. He's still a Democrat, though.
So like I said, when we're going to have these conversations, let's drill down to give people all the facts of what's going on. That's all I'm saying. Great.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying as long as we start with the fact that he's a Democrat, we can go anywhere else from there.
He's a Democrat that votes the majority of time against the Democrats.
Hey, he's still a Democrat.
Okay.
And I'm saying when it comes down to it, the American people.
You're playing games with semantics, and I'm talking about what kind of policies. Because at the end of the day, as a senator, he's a legislator. I'm talking about the legislation that he gets behind. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, I think mission accomplished. You said what you had to say, and then I've made the distinction that I wanted to make, so people know what's really going on.
Yeah. No, this is fair. All I'm saying is the point that is fair is that it doesn't change what his registration is. He's still registered a certain way.
It doesn't change where he actually votes.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with how he votes. I'm just saying, just the dino. That's an opinion. That's not a fact, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's an opinion based upon the way he votes.
Right. You're entitled to that. Okay. We agree on that. So I'm not saying what you're saying. What I'm just saying is that the Democrats are not in formation. So if they lose seats in the House and the Senate, they have nobody to blame but themselves.
So would you agree with me that he's a dino?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because he's been a Democrat for the last 30 years. He's been in the House and the Senate the last 30 years. He's always been a Democrat. I can't recall a time when he flipped parties.
Well,
I'm saying this is a Democrat
now
state.
You've changed. Listen, when you call somebody a dino, that doesn't mean they flip parties. That means that they stay in the same Democrat party, but they vote against Democrat policies, which is what he's done.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay, so I don't understand what your point was you just made. It's
my point is that your opinion. No, it's not irrelevant. My point that I'm making is that your opinion is that he's a dino. That's a fair opinion if you want to call him that. What I'm sticking to is the facts that he is a Democrat. Okay. That don't change how he votes. Don't change his party registration. So it goes back to my overall point that if the Democrats lose seats in that Senate, I think they will. I don't think they'll gain. It might be just a push. It might just be even. But
Well, no,
even if they lose, even if the Democrats, go ahead.
No, I want to cut you off. I'll go right ahead and I'll let you
No,
finish.
I was simply saying that if Democrats lose seats in the House and the Senate, then Democrats have nobody to blame but themselves.
Okay. All right, brother. Anything else?
That's it, comrade.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Have a great day.
Yep, you too. Take it easy. That's Black Russia. 513-873-7134. What's on your mind? I created this segment because, you know, I might miss some stories. What's happening out here that we should be talking about? What needs to be discussed? You tell me. Good morning to you. As you ponder that, something might come up. Pardon me. Let's get a word in from our sponsor today. Today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They offer a Sunday morning live stream. It's a masterclass that is live streamed on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, if you want to tap in on Facebook, go to facebook.com/CINCI Renew. If you're interested in tapping in on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream. This Sunday's topic: every American must stop the violence in their own heart to find peace. Learn how to find peace, rest, and happiness. You can join over 2,100 plus subscribers on YouTube today. Good morning. Speaking of YouTube, subscribe to the show on YouTube. Facebook is tripping with its notifications. I want to make sure that you get what we have live, local, and vocal every single morning. So go to YouTube, Nathan Ivey, and subscribe to my page, and you'll get hopefully more consistent notifications. All right. Good morning to you. Good morning. Black Russia. Appreciate the call, bro. We can always agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be right. I ain't got to be wrong either, but I ain't got to be right. Oh my God. What is on your mind? What's on your mind? What stories are we missing? What story is missing? What's going on that we should be talking about? Are the black kids in CPS safe? That's a very safe, fair question. Are the black kids in CPS safe? Well, if you look at this new article and report coming from Ohio ACLU, and also a group led by students, the Young Activist Coalition, YAC, Yakety Yak, Young Activist Coalition, they say perhaps not. The ACLU has found that inequity and exclusionary discipline disparities are unfairly and biased against black students, meaning that black students are far more likely to receive exclusionary discipline than their white counterparts. And again, what I want people to understand is that these stories are sometimes not written in a way where you can really understand what's happening in CPS. Okay. As it relates to this issue, there's two things going on. Number one is there's a conversation about whether we should have police officers as resource officers in our schools, and what does that do to the culture? And if you have police officers in the schools, are kids going to be more likely to be referred to them? And then the second issue is the discipline that's being doled out by the administrators. They overlap, but they're two different issues. Who doles out to discipline in CPS schools? It's the assistant principals and the principal. That's who does it. So if we have an issue with bias in discipline, we have to look there. And just because you have a black principal, just because you have a black assistant principal does not mean that they're going to deal with black kids fairly. Look at Gabriel Taye, little boy that committed suicide. Apparently he had been bullied for a long time. They had a black female principal. I've told you about my own frustrations and issues dealing with a black principal and administrators. This is a real thing. And part of the problem with this is that parents, their voices are not being heard unless you are part of the clique. Now, if you're a part of the clique, they'll listen to you. If you're not maybe. If you're not a part of the clique, they deal with you like this, like, oh, parents always complaining. And they use this primarily at Walnut Hills. At Walnut Hills, what they'll do is they have this thing where everybody knows what the perception is of Walnut Hills. You got a lot of high-performing parents in all the schools, but there's a high concentration there. And so there's this perception that you have these parents that expect too much, right? You know, they expect too much from the school, and they hide behind that. The reality is that parents' voices should be amplified by CPS, and the concerns of parents should be amplified in CPS, and they should be validated. But again, unless you're a part of the clique and you kissing a lot of you know what, they don't want to hear from you. They'll try to disregard you and kick you to the side, or they try to put you in this box where you're one of those parents, when in fact, nobody cares about your child more than you do. There's no teacher or administrator in CPS that cares more about my children than me and my wife. So if I go to the school and I have an issue, I should be listened to. But that doesn't always happen. It's very unfortunate. And I've heard that from a lot of parents. When it comes to school resource officers, I have seen great things from school resource officers. I've seen great things. I've seen really, really good people have a really good impact in the schools. However, I'm still open to the idea that perhaps there's a better way of doing it. You know, I have worked firsthand with school resource officers, great people willing to go above and beyond. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a conversation about it, that we can't figure out a better way. There could be a better way, or we might have a conversation and figure out that what we have is the best way. But what I would hope is with the release of this information that it just starts a conversation at the very, very least and opens some people's eyes. I'll say it again, this new superintendent, man, she got a huge job in front of her. She really does. She got a huge job in front of her because she's not from Cincinnati. I mean, she's got to learn Cincinnati, like literally, like geographically, like in the literal sense, she has to learn Cincinnati. 2, she has to learn CPS. And while people are people, there might be some distinctions and uniqueness about Cincinnati that she hasn't encountered in her other travels and other jobs. That could happen. And on top of it, she got to learn the politics of the city, who's, what's what, who I can trust, who I can't trust. She got to learn all of that. On top of everything she's going to have to deal with and all the expectations that we have of her. I mean, that is a huge job. I couldn't do it. She's better than me. I could not do it. I don't have the skills for it. I do not have the skill set for it. So I think that the new superintendent should be supported. You know, I haven't heard anything that would suggest anything other than that. She should be supported. We have to wait and see. The other thing is, what I would hope with the superintendent is, and we do that a lot in this city, is we fall out about one thing and then we fall out completely with somebody. So this woman is coming into a brand new job. She's going to be dealing with all kinds of stuff, right? With this new school year. And she's brand new. And I think if we're going to be fair, it's going to take her a few years before we can really assess the type of job that she's doing. And I mean a few years, if we're going to be fair about it. If anybody's expecting she's going to change CPS overnight, I think we're expecting too much. I think it's too much to expect from one woman coming in. And I don't care whether she's the superintendent or whatever the job is. That's just too much to expect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a wait and see approach. Let's wait and see, be on some positive type stuff. See where as a parent or a member of the community I can fit in and be useful, and give her 3-4 years before we really sit down and assess her. What I hope doesn't happen is, and you never can tell, you got a new school year coming up. Hey, Kev on the cell coming straight to you, man. He's been holding on. We got a new year coming up. All kinds of things may happen. I mean, we don't know what we don't know. And there might be some things where she makes a move here or there, or maybe makes a comment and people are like, I don't agree with it. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? She's brand new. Let's give her a chance. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she brings to the table. I'm going to be optimistic. I've got no reason not to. I've heard some things. To this point, I've heard anything negative. And, well, I'll take that back. I've heard a couple things here or there, but nothing I would validate by talking about it. Mostly what I've heard are all good things. And that's just going to be my attitude. That's just going to be my attitude. So let's go straight to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the sale.
What up, Kev on the sale?
today. I'm going to do something completely out of character for me, man.
Okay.
I feel kind of bad that I kind of got to agree with Russia. Hurt my heart, man.
Why? I'm going to hurt your heart, bro.
Because he's kind of, well, you know, usually we're diametrically opposed. Even in this instance, we're still diametrically opposed. He just said some truth. You know, oftentimes Russia says some truth. So I got to put that out there. But
the best operatives always do.
Say again, I'm sorry.
I said the best operatives always do. They always have a little bit of truth in there. Always.
That modicum, man. You need a modicum of the truth. That's exactly it. But here's the thing. Russia's kind of right. I think that number one, you know, the thing that we always talk about in the chop shop is that we can do two things at once, right? We can walk and chew bubblegum. I think that there is kind of an oversaturation with the rights, women's fertility rights issue. I think they're just overdoing it. So yes, that's a very important topic. Yes, the Democrats absolutely should be talking about. And again, I always have to make sure that I delineate that I am talking about women's reproductive rights. I am not talking about abortion. Abortion is just a portion of that. I'm not actually talking about abortion. I'm talking about the right for women to choose what they do with their own body. So for anybody out there that says, "Oh, kids is for abortion," that actually isn't true, and I'll say that up front. That that's not one of the things. That's actually not one of the methods that I personally approve of. But that ain't got nothing to do with the lady down the street who has to make decisions for herself and her health, right? That ain't got nothing to do with me. So the reproductive rights issue is important, but we really should be talking about this economy. I do think, though, that the Democrats should be poised to take advantage of changes that likely will occur in the economy. There are some steps being taken in order to tamp down, to tamp down inflation. There are steps being taken in a lot of markets to produce goods. The one thing that everyone always says is the economy stupid because that quote, but no one realizes that there's another quote out there that says if you live by the economy, you die by the economy. The economy is fickle, and it goes up and it goes down. And so if you put all your eggs in that basket, you might be mad if the basket turns out to be, a basket of chocolate instead of a basket of flies. And I think a lot of people are pushing that. I wanted to talk, too, about CPS real quickly. CPS has been consistently happy with continuous improvement, right? Which is basically saying, I got a D. So for years, we've been on continuous improvement. Well, every year we get continuous improvement. Well, that's a D, right? And so now we have this new lady in place, and we're going to go from that because you know how we are, right? This is Cincinnati. As my esteemed brother used to say, the drag queen city, right? Because we don't never know what's underneath the clothes. But we're going to immediately go from that to we expect to be excellent. We want to be rivals with Wyoming and all of the other districts and Indian Hill in the city. That's not really real. like you don't you're hoping to possibly get to effective. Then I think I can't remember what the one between effective and excellent is, but there's another distinction between those two. So we can't really have these outsized expectations. And as you said, in the first year of somebody, coming into the city, that ain't fair. It's not fair. I know it's what we're going to do. It's the same thing we're doing with Joe Biden. But it's not fair. Lastly, Drop keep calling me out, man. Talking about I ain't gonna talk about. Unless, I don't know what good news he's standing on though. Nathan, I've been listening, man. I haven't been calling because I've been busy. I took that vacation and now I got to catch back up as far as work and stuff. But I don't know what good news Drop is standing on, other than the fact of what do they keep saying? 75% of the country is upset with the direction the country is going. What they don't say is that question is loaded. Because if you ask a Republican if they're happy with the country, they're going to say, no, we don't like the country because Joe Biden's in power. If you ask a Democrat if he don't like the country, they're going to say no because the economy is jacked up and you know what I'm saying, gas is $7. So, that's a loaded question, and no one's saying like, oh, yeah, if you could ask this question to 100 different people, all of them 75 of them could have a different answer as to why they're not happy with the direction of the country, but none of that necessarily has to do with Joe Biden. It's so silly, man. It's laughable. Like, I don't like to come out here and chastise the children, but, I tell you the same way I tell my kids, my nieces and nephew, and even my daughter. A child should stay in a child's place. If grown folks is talking, you should shut up here. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody out here fooled by the fact that the polls are down. People are upset that Biden is an older person. I don't know why. There used to be a time when we revered the people that were older than us because most of them were wiser than us. They had been through things we had never seen. So now, all of a sudden, because we got a computer, we think that we know as much as the folks that's been here before. But quite frankly, and I'll tell you straight up and down, I'm an older person for anyone out there, Drop, that thinks I'm a child. I'm an older person. I'm 52 years old. I'm not a kid. I've seen 14% interest
Really?
rates.
Look good for 52,
before.
bro. I never would have thought that.
I appreciate you. I'm not a child. So for all of this childish talking banter out here, for you operatives, the Russias, and just all of y'all, you know who you are. Y'all got a name for your clique. I don't even want to say it. Understand one thing: no one on this channel who is sentient, meaning of sound mind, is being fooled by y'all nonsense. You can cry, you can whine, you can complain, but what you really should do is go to your room and shut up till you grow up. You have no room at the table. We putting you at the kids' table. In November, there's going to be a vote. We ain't voting on 2024. That's not happening this year. We're not going to the polls to vote for the president. Donald Trump is not running. Joe Biden is not running. We are voting for two really important seats, Pennsylvania and Ohio. If you are a Democrat, you have a choice between some dude who literally said that he doesn't rock with Donald Trump until Donald Trump gave him an endorsement. And then he turned around and said he's a great man. Or there's another guy. I don't really like the way he talks either, and I am kind of confused as to whether he will or won't be a Manchin. That's easy to handle, though. All we have to do is say, if you get in office, you start acting like that dude, we definitely are not going to reelect you. Period. Ain't no question. So let's vote on the issues that actually do matter. Vote for the people that matter. And I only keep saying Ohio and Pennsylvania, but I also know that there are people that are challenging in Wisconsin. There are people that are challenging in Arizona. There are people that are challenging pretty much in all of the states that used to be considered purple. And so we have a great opportunity right now to make a great difference. Stop talking stupidness about how you don't want to support the current president, because the last president that was in office, up and down, he was spinning the wackest hits. DJ Trump spinning the wackest hits, putting us all at risk. I'm thinking about your and my child. That's all I got, Nate. Keep rocking, bro.
Appreciate the call. He says spinning the wackest hits, putting us all at risk. You can make that work. You kind of make that work. Hey, listen, folks, my time is short. I want to get up out of here and make a couple of moves. I am working on a show. I want to talk about the sky high rent, the housing crisis. I want to give you perhaps a different perspective and a different way of looking at it. Okay, I want to give you a different way of looking at it, just based upon the information that I've had. Okay, I want to talk about the exploding rents. People are being displaced. I mean, it's terrible out here what's happening to people. It really is. You got a lot of folks out here who are just they homeless and they struggling. But it's a real deeper issue. And also I want to talk about what's in the works, like what's being done to protect renters. Like if you're somebody that's going through the process of maybe being evicted, what can the city or the county do to protect you? Okay. Do you have predatory landlords out here? Some say. Why are the prices going sky high, right, in terms of rent? Should there be a cap on rent in the city of Cincinnati? So I'm preparing a show on that, and I'll probably be scheduled or ready to deliver it probably next week, like early next week. And we'll spend an hour or so just talking with the people who are actually dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. But I got to make a move. Sorry to all the callers. You had a couple people who were trying to get in, Sister Iris and others. I appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. I'm sorry that I don't know what's happening with Facebook and notifications, but that's out of my hand. I can't do anything about it. All I'm going to do is just, bear down and worry about putting together, hopefully, a good show for you. So have an excellent rest of your day, family. That's what we started. Just circle back around. The show will be up. Black woman was kicked out of an eatery for an OMG reason. We talked to Rosemary this morning. We got a call she gave us an update on what they're doing with the Holloway House over in Avondale. We got a call from Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reece and others. Appreciate the conversation. Lift us up with a share. Tell people about the show. And I'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m.-ish. Sometimes it's like 7:05 as we get things cooking. Have a great day, and I'm out.
Tell me what you learned in grade school. Give it to me like you want it. Did you forget that golden rule? Why is our love it one-sided? It should really be give and take. Fill you up and leave me empty. Baby, was that my mistake? Covering these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad right now, I can't even think straight. So I'ma just read it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just read it and delete it before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind, rewind, rewind. Tell me what choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe, watching from a distance. Hiding these feelings, going through changes. I'm just so mad, but now it's at my own expense. So I'ma just read it and delete it, knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just read it and delete to go, to release, to relax, to let my emotions flow. But for now,